Hey, IDS 302 Summer Session B. Welcome to video 2 from Module 4. Excuse me. It's what is this? Thursday, July 30th. Let's get to it. I'm gonna add some links to this announcement for this. I think again, I want to keep bringing or calling to your attention areas where integration and research and such are exemplified in our current uh, society. Okay, so the first one I'll take a look at is from Vice, but it's here. Well, you'll see it, but the headline is Theoretical Physicists Say 90% Chance of Societal Collapse Within Several Decades. And my thing just slipped, didn't it? Like I said, it's an exercise in acrobatics setting us up. So, yeah, so theoretical physicists say 90% chance of societal collapse within several decades. Deforestation and rampant resource use is likely to trigger the irreversible collapse of human civilization unless we rapidly change course. I'm going to include this link, but um, it is what I want to point to here, because I can't show it to you, is according to a peer-reviewed paper. It says that right there, published this May in Nature Scientific Reports. They say that if the rate of deforestation continues, all the forests would disappear in approximately 100, 200 years, and such and such. There's a point of no return. But this is research. Yes, it's speculative, but it's done by trained theoretical physicists based on what we know now, based on track records. It's based on a lot. And frankly, I am going to link this article, which is probably easier to read in layman's terms than I will the actual research, which is, it's got the abstract, introduction, model, and results. Again, research papers are not always going to follow what we're teaching here, obviously. Many of them do them differently. It depends on many things, and I don't even want to get into what it is. Some of the statistical models here are very, oh my God, that looks like hieroglyphics. Okay, so but there's a lot in here, and they talk about the results and such. And it's interesting because we need to have predictive models done by qualified people to determine what's going on, right? Uh, let's also take a look then at a thread on a from Jose Luis Jimenez, who is a professor of chemistry fellow, CIRES, University of Colorado, highly cited researcher, fellow of blah blah blah, studies aerosols and air pollution. On Twitter, he is at JLJ Colorado. And he posted a thread this morning. We re-upped on it. Yeah. Uh, and he retweeted an op-ed done by Professor Lindsay Marr in the New York Times. I'll include that about, yes, the coronavirus is in the air and how the research continues to change. Because remember, we talked about that. The research you do builds on the previous research, but always leaves open for the next research to build on that. So it's not like, you were wrong. It's always building on what we know. Okay, this is why it has to be humble too. So he talks about this in an interesting thread about the aerosol transmission of COVID-19 with many facts. I have the New York Times article as well as the report of, as well as the research report. Okay, so I have that. Conversely, let's talk about um, the video posted by America's Frontline Doctors, led by Dr. Stella Emanuel. They appeared in the backdrop of the Supreme Court. They shared misleading claims about the virus, including the hydroxychloroquine is an effective coronavirus. and that masks did not slow the spread of the virus. It was within 6 hours, it was retweeted by President Trump and his son, Donald Trump Jr., shared by right-wing news site Breitbart. It focused a lot on anti-vax movement, conspiracy theories such as QAnon. They're racking up tens of millions of views. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter worked feverishly to remove it. Now, you can fall on two sides here. You can fall on your facts and the truth. You can fall on scientific evidence, or you can fall on a very paranoid conspiracy mindset, which believes that there's either cabals or some kind of thing going on here. I'd rather believe that the lizard people are running things, or that this is all a simulation, um, because the evidence is scientific. And the further we get away from recognizing scientific research as indicators with particular evidence of trends, of tendencies. Okay, we're gonna do what that first study said. We're gonna just civil society is gone. Go watch which one is it? Road Warrior, Thunderdome, Thunderdome. This will be Thunderdome. So my point again, not soapboxing it. You come correct, you bring your data, you bring the science, you be careful with anecdotal evidence. Most researchers worth their salt will indicate when something was done on a limited trial because of time, like what we're doing here. You're not going to take your study and say, bam, look at this, I figured it out, I got this. No, it's a limited study of limited participants. Your information and what you're going to gather is limited, but you may disseminate certain trends, certain opinions, perceptions, experiences, right? Humility is the answer on this. So I'm going to post all these links with this if you want to take a look. But I guess the main thing will be Easter egg number 1, be smart with knowledge. Okay, Easter egg number 1, be smart with knowledge. You know what that means, even though it sounds kind of weird. It's a powerful thing, a powerful tool. And the more people we have who have intellects that can discern news, weigh it. It's a continuum. It's not like, oh, either it's God's truth or fake news. No, there's a continuum of things. Okay? It's always gray areas. But what does the science tell you? Okay, who's behind the science? Because scientists have biases as well. All right? That's why the peer reviewed is important. Okay? All right, so let's talk about your surveys. Looking forward to participating in them. Again, I do not pre-screen surveys, so you're on your own, but if you follow the instructions and think it out, I think you'll do pretty well on that. Those are due by Sunday night. And then I am going to remind you in the Module 5, Video 1 to participate in each other's surveys. It's so important because like I said, the last class that someone had 9 participants and there were 20 some people in the class. It's just absurd. And again, family, friends, I don't care. Post it anywhere. Yes, it's random adults, but let's use that term random loosely. That we're going to send it, put it places where people can see it. Okay, we don't have time to develop a randomization with different demographics and making sure you're all balanced. No, we don't have that. So we want to get some data though that we can look at. Before that, of course, tonight, great discussion. I got to grade it. Thinking outside the box is due tonight. I think it's a good exercise. It's not make work. I want you to expand your horizons and understanding that disciplines in academia, which are individual silos of learning, boxes of learning, they have borders, they have things that they do and things they don't do. Okay, there are many different ones. The list continues to grow as we break down certain things and invent new disciplines based on our society and what's going on. So that's a good one to use to expand it. I mean, I'm going to reward people who get out there and show me that you got something kind of bizarre going on. That gets me into, let me just skip this right now. Um, the number of disciplines you are using for your paper. Okay, many of you gave me 3, 4, I don't think there were any 5 discipline bibliographies annotated. There was a few 2 disciplines. There were mostly 3 probably. So I'm going to advise you that 3 is fine. Okay, you can get away with 2 if you're really good. Look at the sample. I think she used 3. 3 was really good. I really liked the way that got laid out. Remember, interdisciplinary is having to do with more than one discipline. Multidisciplinary is more than one discipline. We're not doing multi because what's the difference? IDS equals integration, and there's your Easter egg number 2. IDS equals integration. It's an oldie but a goodie, because I want to remind you again that what we're doing is interdisciplinary work, but we're using integration as our process to accomplish interdisciplinary increased skills, right? So there you go with that. Now in your step 4, again, nobody's turned it in yet. I wouldn't expect that. But check it out, the sample. If you can follow the sample, you are going to be in good shape because she lays it out in a great format that you should be able to follow. Okay, don't copy it word for word, of course, but move your furniture into that building. Okay. Questions about that? If they're specific, let me know. I'll try my best to answer it, or I just have to say, it's on you now. Do what you can do, and I will look at it. And again, I don't expect grad school work in an undergrad class, but I do expect upper level undergrad work in this undergrad class. Okay, this isn't English 101. All right, so nothing against English 101, by the way, but you know what I'm saying. Sorry. By the way, this is day 5 of keto for me. I think having a blood sugar reading of 273 on Sunday morning after a month of comfort eating did me in. I got serious and I've been doing keto 5 days. I haven't gone over 27 carbs, gross carbs. So my net carbs is about 18 or 17. It's gonna make me kind of cranky and tired and whatever, but you know it's better than having high blood sugar. My blood sugar keeps dropping every day. It's 191 this morning. I'm typically real high. I'm seeing readings much better, so can't wait to get back to normal. Anyhow, that's science again though, because I do follow a lot of keto in terms of type 2 diabetes is anecdotal. We're starting to see some papers come up on it in terms of calling it low carb, high fat, calling it very low carb, so VLC diets. There's different ways of looking at it, but studies are being done. I know what works for me. You need to know what works for you. Low carb works for me. It keeps my diabetes under control. And I've had that for 20 years, so I kind of know my own track record, what works. I am worried that the older I get, some of the old magic may not be working. You know, I may lose that, whatever they call it, mojo. Okay, so let's again, step 4. Okay, so take a look at that, get that going. By the way, I made a change, last minute change. One moment. All right, I changed scores on 2 assignments in Module 5. FYI, in full disclosure, the reflection discussion is now worth 30 points instead of 50. That was way too easy. Basically, again, talking about yourself, no peer responses required. Yes, there's a word minimum, but come on, that's 30. Your final paper, which includes step 5, by the way, step 5, final paper, that's now worth 120 points instead of 100. I feel it's a better measurement stick. And in fact, as I mentioned last week, I think I'm working on the fall 302, and actually step 4 is worth 150. Step 5 and final paper is worth 150. I still may change that to, 175 or 200, 175, 200 on the final paper, and then stagger them down to the beginning. Okay, I just want to add that importance to understand you're going to work harder on step 4 and step 5 in the final paper, so you need to be rewarded at a higher level. Any questions on that, let me know. What it looks like now is tonight, well, after module 4, you've got, well, I'm sorry, starting with your survey link, due Sunday, the step 4, 2 module 5 videos, a reflection discussion, final paper, step 5. There's 290 points remaining in this class, 295 counting this, okay, and 335 counting the thinking outside the box. So that's a big chunk. That's a third of the points for the class, basically, coming up here between now and August 11th. I've said before, make sure you know how many days are left. I can't work beyond the 11th for no reason, but okay, so the last point I'm going to make as I get to 15 something, you'll start seeing emails on the course evaluation. I got mine this morning, so that means you're going to start getting them. They're going to come at you fast and furious. I need you to submit your course evaluation. You can do it anytime. You don't have to wait till the end of the class. It's gonna lock up before the end of class. I know that. Summer is more difficult for me to get responses for some reason on these. I think I had like 24 students in A and only got nine submissions, which is really pathetic. I need your help on this because it helps me to understand how I'm doing, where I need to change. You should have seen how bad I was last year compared to this. I mean, my videos alone have improved. And so help your students going forward, pay it forward. Completely anonymous. I don't see any results until late August at the earliest, probably not till September. It's still anonymous when I see it. But we get rated on these in terms of faculty, in terms of, yes, a raise. But again, there's a very serious importance to finding out in the class. If I see a tendency that says, oh, it sucks that he wasn't hard on due dates, he should be harder on due dates. I've had people say that too, videos are too long. They used to be longer, but I hear you, okay? But it's my only chance to talk. So hopefully you'll find positive things about the class. Hopefully you'll find that it applies to real life. I try to make it that way as one who's to talk to you about all the different careers I've had and things. Putting all this stuff together and applying it, I think could be useful. I think I resonate with each one of you in some way in terms of what your objectives and goals and where you're coming from are. So I'd appreciate it greatly if you submit a course evaluation. I don't care what you say. Of course I care, but I'm not trying to manipulate what you say, okay, on that. All right. There is an area for weaknesses, and believe me, I got them. All right. It's been a rough session for me with what I've gone through. And many of you are going through some issues as well that have made this a challenge. So let's get out of here. I think I gave you Easter egg number 3, and if I didn't, I will submit a course evaluation. That's it from my place. You guys keep cool, stay healthy, and forks up.